right. This is Scare Talk, and I am Danny, and I'm here on my own. It's just me today. I was able to see a film, and Joel and Katrina were not. I wanted to be able to get this review out because the film is now in theaters. So I want you guys to go check it out and have a little bit of a idea of what it's about because I don't think it's getting much advertisement. So it is called The Ugly Stepsister. We got a screener for this thanks to Strike Media. So thank you. Shout out to them. And this is essentially a body horror film set within the Cinderella story. Okay. It's not like a cheesy Disney knockoff horror slasher kind of movie that we've kind of been seeing over the last few years. This is a dead serious film that just happens to center around that Cinderella story. So, before we get into it too deeply, please subscribe. Like always, most of our viewers are not subscribed. So, if you view our content, then just subscribe and it'll make it easier for you to find us, see our new content, and engage with us. So, for this review, I'm going to stay away from spoilers. It is now in theaters, so if you're going to go see it, you're not going to want to know some of the stuff that is in the film. But I will be doing spoilers on Patreon. So patreon.com/scaretalk is where you can get early access to episodes, spoilers for episodes, and exclusive content. So if you want to know the spoilers about this, then sign up for Patreon and go over there and you'll be able to watch the entire review, including spoilers. All right, so The Ugly Stepsister. So if you know anything about the Cinderella story, then you know that there are two stepsisters and a stepmother, and then there's Cinderella. So this movie is about one of the stepsisters, the ugly stepsister, and she is dead set on marrying the prince. And there's a ball coming, and the prince is going to choose his bride at the ball. And the issue is that this particular woman does not feel like she is worthy, and neither does her mother. So the movie is about her going through, we shall say, a makeover. Now this takes place during the Cinderella time period. So this is not like modern day Cinderella. This is back in the day Cinderella. And so the medical advancements that we have today were not present then. So the way that the makeover is done, I think you can kind of put two and two together. It's a little brutal. So there's some of that, which is part of the body horror, but there's something that her name is Elvira. Something that she decides to do to lose weight is pretty intense, and you get to kind of be reminded of it throughout the film, and then really reminded of it at the end. So it's a kind of like a gross out type of movie, body horror, shock value kind of film. It's well acted. It is subtitled. I need to mention that. It is subtitled. I believe it's French. Don't quote me on that. Or Norwegian, maybe. But anyways, it is subtitled. Should have mentioned that before. But anyways, it's well acted. The gore and stuff is pretty good. Elvira especially is well acted. Whoever that actress is, amazing job. Very, very convincing. A lot of emotion is needing to be displayed, and she does amazing. The Cinderella character, she did good too. We do get to see a good amount of her. So she's not the main character, but she is a strong piece of the film as kind of the pretty one versus the ugly stepsister. Um, there's one scene in this that I was like, why are we showing this? Why are we showing it like this? So it was a little weird, a little bit of a weird scene. There's some quirky dialogue, some comedy in there. I'm not sure if it was meant to be funny, or if this is just how people talk in that culture or at that time. But some of it was kind of funny. And I mean, overall, it was a good movie. I'd recommend checking it out in theaters if you don't mind subtitles, and if you particularly don't mind body horror, because that's absolutely what this is. I think they do a good job with the time period, the sets and the atmosphere, and the accents and just the culture. I think that they capture that pretty well. And I don't know that I would watch this again on my own. It's kind of like a one and done type of movie. Once you know, you know. But I would watch it again with somebody who hasn't seen it just to kind of see their reaction to some of the things that are shown. Um, so yeah, I'm curious what Katrina and Joel might think of this one. So maybe eventually we'll talk about it between the three of us. Let's look at the ratings so far, because it has been rated. It's been seen by a number of critics and early reviews, such as myself. So let's look at that. So IMDb has it at a 7.3. So that's very solid for IMDb. Rotten Tomatoes right now, 97% from the tomato meter. That's 88 reviews. 85% on the popcorn meter, and that's 100 plus reviews. So this is, wow, getting very, very, very high praise. I'm not going to give it that high of a score. I'm going 70. Let's go 77. I think it's a little bit above the 75 kind of average. So I'll give it a 77. I enjoyed it. If you like if you want to see something a little different within the Cinderella story, then this is pretty cool, because there are definitely moments where it's like, oh, this is Cinderella, and then for the most of the movie, it's not really, you don't really feel like you're watching a Cinderella film. You feel like you're watching a horror film. But then other times it's like, oh yeah, this is Cinderella. So, pretty cool. So if you like that kind of time period, the Cinderella story, you definitely get some of that in here mixed in with the body horror. Good acting. The only negatives I would say is just not necessarily my taste. Body horror is kind of hit or miss with me. I like The Substance. I enjoyed definitely on the first watch, but the subsequent watches, not as much. So body horror is not necessarily my thing. In subtitles, I can get through films with subtitles, but it does kind of distract me from the movie. So those are my kind of two negatives, and it's just kind of the nature of the movie. So I don't want to blame the movie for that. It's just kind of a personal preference, which is why I would rate it in the 70s rather than into the 80s and 90s. All right. So that is the spoiler-free segment of the review. Again, if you want to go and stick around and be able to hear the spoilers, which there are a few that I will mention, a couple of extreme scenes that I'll dive into a little bit. So if you want to hear about that stuff, then go to patreon.com/scaretalk and you can sign up there on one of the tiers and get access to the spoilers. Again, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that you're following us on social media. We're all on all of them. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, follow the show there. Put a review on Apple. That would really help get our show out there for more people to see. All right. Other than that, we'll see you guys soon for Until Dawn. We'll see you soon. Probably first we'll see you for Sinners. We did record that review, and we're going to be seeing Until Dawn tonight. So super excited for that. So those are the next couple of reviews that will be coming your way, unless something else gets mixed in. I'm not sure. Otherwise, see you next time.